What's up everybody, I'm Stan and welcome to Rebirth Rundown. This is a show where we're going to go over all the latest and greatest titles from DC's Rebirth event and give you an idea as to whether there's something you want to pick up or not. In the month of June, DC is releasing 8 books, so that's going to be Batman Rebirth, Superman Rebirth, Green Lantern's Rebirth, Green Arrow Rebirth, Flash Rebirth, Wonder Woman Rebirth, Aquaman Rebirth, and Titans Rebirth. So there's a lot of different pieces that are really going to go on over the next few weeks, and I kind of want to give everybody a little bit better idea of what's going on in those particular books. To start off with, we're going to hit up Batman Rebirth. This is the big book that everybody's really going to be talking about, other than the other major key players in the DC universe, so I figured this is the best one to start off with. I don't really want to spoil anything because I do want to encourage people to go out and check out the books themselves, but I do want to give you an idea as to the themes and stories that are really going to be happening behind this book. Let's start off with the creative team. Scott Snyder, who wrote the New 52 Batman, stops in to help out Tom King, writer of The Vision, Omega Men, Grayson, to try and put together the script for Batman Rebirth, but I'm really going to consider this more of a Tom King creation since he's taken the reins from here on out. On art, we have Michael Janin, and he's been lending his pencil to Justice League Dark, and he's providing the art throughout the entirety of the book. And just on the largest splash page where you can kind of get the credits, you get this real feel for what kind of concepts and what kind of content he's putting into the backgrounds. It's really a great layout, and ultimately I feel like immediately his art really grabs me. When we look at the story that, Tom King came up with with the assistance of Scott Snyder, we see 2 layers. So primarily we have our villain antagonist kind of storyline, which is dealing with the Calendar Man, and then ultimately there's a few other concepts that are kind of layered underneath that. And it's kind of clear what's going to be happening in both of those senses when you open up the book to the first page. On that first page, you get a couple clues as to how things are going to be unfolding in the new Batman book, with Duke Thomas showing up on the doorstep of Wayne Manor, and you've got Alfred pruning an avocado tree, that kind of thing. However, there is a little bit of a hint as to what's going to be going on. When you see at the bottom, you have a distinct day followed by a distinct season, which is going to be an ongoing theme throughout the rest of the book. As this book moves forward, you do see some really great things in the art, and really what it does is it implies a solidarity amongst the characters. So you've got very clean, bold lines, very chiseled kind of features when it comes to, Bruce and Duke Thomas that are playing the main protagonists. You've got the modifications that go through the Calendar Man and his cycle, and the environments are really well rendered. Overall, I think that this art is really great for this particular book, simply because it's kind of a one-shot, almost standalone piece. There's not really any story arc that's going to be moving forward into the ongoing Batman title. But one thing it does do, both literally and metaphorically, is plant seeds. So what you have is a situation where you're kind of looking at Bruce and Batman and what it takes to be Batman, what kind of mentality you have to have in order to survive in the role of Batman in Gotham City. It also plants seeds regarding Bruce and possibly his mental state, what it takes to mentally be Batman as well. And I feel like that's a theme that, Tom King's kind of planting in there to see how it's going to develop in the future and maybe use it as kind of a stepping stone into a different story arc. I really hope that that's, I'm not reading too far into that. You also see new plans for Duke Thomas. Who we implied in the Robin Wars feature was going to be like, okay, this is the next guy. This is Robin for the near future. And Batman himself says that, we're going to be trying something a little bit different. Lastly, the main thing that you see is Batman himself, who he is as Bruce Wayne and who he is as Batman, and you get the sense that he is ever prepared, ever vigilant, and he even says himself, throughout the book, it's just like, if people come back better and better, we just have to be better as well. We need to continue to improve. And I feel like Tom King might be laying a metaphor for how he feels about Batman, and while Scott Snyder has done a phenomenal job on the New 52 Batman, probably going to go down as one of the best creator runs between him and Greg Capullo, I feel like Tom King really wants to step up his game, and he's been writing brilliantly in The Vision, creating layers of story that are really interesting and intriguing. They kind of pull the reader in. They created a character that I wasn't really interested in at all. He's this super OP machine, and he created this world that surrounded The Vision that was just, it was both frightening, alarming, uncomfortable, hilarious. There was a lot of different elements that got worked into the Vision story that I'm excited to see him bring to Batman. in summary, if I was going to say, you know, for the first time reader, would you come in and feel comfortable in Batman? Probably not. There's a little bit of there's a few elements that, you know, carry over from the New 52 that aren't really well explained, but I'm sure that they're those things that you can kind of pass over and enjoy the Batman story in itself. If it's somebody that's, you know, if it's my recommendation to buy it, I would probably say, yeah, it's already on my pull list. I want to see where this goes because I like Tom King. Even if there's a different, you know, artist every once in a while, I'm totally fine with that because I'm looking to see the story that he develops in a creative team with those other folks and where he kind of takes Batman. So if we're talking, you know, whether it's don't buy for a story arc, or put it on your pull list, we're going to go straight to 100% yes, go for it. That's the Batman that you're looking for. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you like what you see, hit the like button down below. And don't forget to hit subscribe if you want to get more news regarding comic books, comic book TV shows, comic book movies, and anything and everything inside the world and universe of comic books.